Welcome back. Cryptocurrency goes mainstream. One of the largest names in the space, Circle, is going public via a SPAC after merging with Concord Acquisition Corporation, which is sponsored by Atlas Merchant Capital. The deal values Circle at $4.5 billion, and Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire and Atlas Merchant Capital CEO Bob Diamond join me right now. Great to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate it. And let me just say, congratulations. This is big news. Bob, let me kick it off with you at Merchant. Why was it important for you to partner with Circle?
Listen, this is exactly what we had in mind, Maria. In December 2020, we did an IPO for our first SPAC, as you said, Concord Acquisition Corp. Finding something in the digital space, in the blockchain space, around payments, around treasury and transaction services was our ideal. That's why we brought in Henry Helgeson, Pete Ort, Jeff Tudor, Tom King, all members of our board, all helping us identify the right merger partner. When we were introduced, and I was introduced to Circle, and then introduced to Jeremy Allaire in January and February of 2021, the vision, the knowledge of the space, the platform that they had built, and the management of the organization, putting them in this position, this was an ideal partner for us in our first SPAC.
Yeah, and Jeremy, congrats to you. Your work on the U.S. dollar coin, stable coin, has helped businesses, large and small, really, understand better the digital space. Walk us through your vision in terms of where the world is going in a digital currency world.
Thanks, Maria. You know, the way I like to think about this is very much similar to how the internet has found its way into other major industries, information industries, retail industries, where more and more of the activity runs on the public internet, runs on this public internet infrastructure. And just like we digitized our content and we digitized our communications, and that's allowed us to have access to the world's knowledge at our fingertips at no cost. It's allowed us to have free video communications with everyone everywhere. Digital currency offers the potential to do the exact same thing for money, allowing money to move at the speed of the internet, allowing it to move on the open internet. And ultimately, we think that this leads to a pretty deep commoditization in payments-based business models. We think basically payments becomes a commodity-free service on the internet, just like the Skype connection I'm using to call into your program. And in addition to that, the underlying infrastructure, these public blockchain networks provide building blocks where we can actually take what are traditional financial services, borrowing and lending and other capital market functions, and move those into this internet infrastructure as well, which we think ultimately pretty dramatically changes the fundamental unit economics and service delivery models of all of commercial financial services.
Yeah, I mean, it's an enormous opportunity, and I want to ask you where you take it now, because you're the principal operator of the U.S. dollar coin. It's grown to more than $25 billion in circulation. What do you do with the money that you raise? How do you get even further scale with this, with going public?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the process of becoming a public company is significant for us. Obviously, you know, between the recent financing and the SPAC combination and PIPE transaction, we will have raised over $1.1 billion. And that's because we see that the opportunity is to build, you know, a global scale company rapidly. We think that over the next 2 to 3 years, dollar digital currencies like USDC can become significantly larger. In our midterm outlook, we see this growing to as much as 200 billion USDC in circulation over the next, you know, 2.5 years. And, you know, the capital allows us to invest in the products and services that we can build around that. We really envision we're building a new kind of global commercial financial institution, and we want to bring tens of thousands of businesses and other financial institutions into this ecosystem, building on this. We think it's an enormous, enormous opportunity.
Yeah, and Bob, obviously you do too. You've been identifying growth stories at Merchant for since you started the firm. Tell me where you see this going next, Bob. I mean, do you have a vision in terms of the digital dollar, the digital economy, and how that changes your own business?
I would say two things on that, Maria. I think first and foremost, when you look at USDC, it's really a payments platform, a treasury and transaction services platform, which is in direct contrast to a number of other cryptocurrencies. When you think about Bitcoin, it's really about speculation. Less than 1% of Bitcoin is used for transactions, where with 25 billion outstanding in USDC, we've had about 800 billion in transactions over the last 12 months. I mean, I think the second thing that's very, very exciting for both Jeremy and I is to the extent that we are as successful as we believe we have been and will continue to be in developing USDC. We think about opportunities in sterling. We think about opportunities in yen. We think about opportunities in the pound. So I think we're in the very, very early days of a digital stablecoin USDC development, and it's very exciting.
So how does that work competitively speaking, Bob, in terms of watching? I mean, China is trying to do the same thing, right, with the digital yuan. And I'm glad you keep going back to payments. We were focused on this just recently, looking at the fact that you look at a company like Visa. It has a larger market value than JP Morgan right now. And it's all about payments, digital transactions.
Yeah. You know, Jeremy will have more to say on this, and I'd love to hear from him. But I think your example of Visa is absolutely spot on. You know, Visa has taken USDC onto their platform. They're a very strong partner of ours. But Jeremy?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, one way to think about this, Maria, is, you know, when the internet intersects with something, oftentimes it takes what was done in the non-internet world, and it, you know, as entrepreneurs and VCs like to say, it makes it kind of 10 times better, meaning that the utility of it, the benefit of it just is significantly better. But it also, because it reduces the cost, the internet drives costs towards zero on these kinds of network infrastructures. It actually dramatically expands the volumes that are possible. So our view is that the proliferation of dollar digital currencies like USDC will actually lead to, you know, orders of magnitude larger amounts of payment volumes on the internet than we've seen to date. So this is really money meets the internet in a very real way.
I love it. Incredibly exciting. Jeremy Allaire, Bob Diamond, thank you so much for being here, and we'll be watching. We'll be right back.